The business of nation building is one that throws a lot of issues that call for questions and continuous discourse. Sometimes it looks like a lecture on the subject of democracy.
Understand democracy to mean the government of the people, by the people, for the people, which in essence means that democracy is people-centered and people-driven.
At another time, it looks a little bit contentious. The fact that they receive allocation from the federal government, does it stop the citizens from asking questions?
That's an insult to be receiving resources from the federal government. That's an insult. That's anti-federal system of government.
But what we do on the program this week today is to bring all of them into the mix as we fashion a roadmap for the growth and development of our society. Join me, the anchor, Awala, every Saturday, 5 to 6 p.m. on Rise FM 106.7, Positively Different.
This week today. This week today. This week today.
Governor Siminalayi of Rivers State and his estranged godfather, now Minister of the FCT, former Governor Wike, appeared to have brokered a deal and have found a path to peace and decided to work together again in Rivers State. It appears there is light in the end of the tunnel for these political gladiators in Rivers State, but the question is, what is in it for the Rivers people in the peace that has been brokered by Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, by these two godfather and godson in Rivers State? Good evening, everyone. That is how I welcome you to this week's edition of the program. This week, today, coming to you live on your award-winning radio station, Rise 106.7 FM. And of course, we are broadcasting to you from the oil-rich city of Raya in Delta State. Laju, our lives, my name, and that is how I welcome you to the show today. I'm not alone. I have my regular guest with me on the show, Reverend Louis of Labi. Good evening, Reverend. It's good to have you.
Good evening, Laju. Good evening, the fans. Happy ending of the month.
Okay, quickly, we get the conversation started, and I also wanted to know that we are transmitting or streaming this program live for you on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Rise FM Radio. You can always go there and be part of the conversation. We like it when you talk to us. We want to know what you think. We want to know what your thoughts are as far as some of these developments are concerned. And of course, we also take time to look at what is happening within the fold of the APC, because as we speak today, the national chairman of the APC, Umar Ganduje, has resigned his position as a national chairman of the APC, and questions have been asked on why Ganduje resigned his position as a national chairman of the APC. Different information is being put there in the public space on why he resigned, but we can tell you that at the moment, according to the constitution of the APC, the deputy national chairman of the party, North, Alji Bukara Dalori, is now in charge of the APC as the acting national chairman of the APC. There are different issues that have been brought to the table that possibly may have led to the resignation of Ganduje. We don't know which is which for now, but we keep our eyes on it and also let you know when what is happening or when the information eventually made public. But from what we hear on the ground, we can tell you that one of the reasons is because some people feel, or they are saying that there's a strong contention for the running mate of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu in 2027. That it appears that Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu is likely to drop Kashim Shettima as his running mate in 2027. And they said a good number of those being touted to be having interest as a running mate to Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu are majorly from the north central, and it's not from the northwest rather, and it's not possible for Ganduje, also is from the northwest, to remain as the national chairman of the party if the northwest is also going to produce the running mate to Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu in 2027. There's another version of it that is also talking about the Kwankwaso factor in all of it, that Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Kwankwaso, the former governor of Kano State, who is now in the NNPP, and of course you want to say is the godfather of Ganduje of some sort, or got Ganduje as governor of Kano State. But you recall that himself and Ganduje, they've not been in good times, and Asiwaju wants him to come to the fold of the APC, but somehow he appears to be saying he cannot be part of the APC with Ganduje being the leader of the APC. So this is a way to ease Ganduje out of the APC, so to allow for Kwankwaso to come into the APC, because that's 2 million or over 2 million votes of Kano State is important to Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu needs that vote in 2027, and the calculation is that Kwankwaso appears to be in a better position to deliver that kind of votes for Tinubu in 2027. So easing Ganduje out may just be a good way to properly woo Kwankwaso to now come into the APC and also move the NNPP into the APC. But I'm not saying all of these, that these are the facts, but I'm just saying these are the informations available in the public space for now. But let's start the conversation with the situation in Rivers State, the latest development. Some people are happy, some people are saying it appears this is not going to be for the good of the Rivers people. I don't know. Mine is to bring the conversation to the table and allow you to draw inferences from the facts we make available. Reverend, quickly, let's start the conversation with this situation. What do you think is going on for you? Do you think this is a welcome development? The peace that has been brokered by the president between suspended governor Simeon Alaye Fubara and the former governor of Rivers State, now minister of the FCT, Wike?
Well, it depends on the divide as far as this issue is concerned. It depends on where you stand. To some, it's a welcome development. Welcome development in the sense that Fubara will get back to government house and become a governor. Number two, it will, so to say, bring about, in quote, peace to Rivers State. That's how some people will look at it. Probably those who were probably benefiting from Fubara will be happy and said, oh, thank God he's back, or he's coming back. Where we stop, we can continue at least our contract, our jobs that we're doing for the state, we can be paid. Yeah, put yourself into their shoes. You have to be fair. That's the truth. So they will be happy about him coming back. And there are some people too that will feel, it was a sellout. We expected him to give a good fight. They have flogged him to fall in line. He has been beaten hands down to compromise. What is the issue in the first place? It was about the River State resources, the sharing of the River State money. So you see that he has agreed to the position of his godfather on how they can share the resources. So some people will look at it from that angle, that, oh, they have come back. All he's coming back to do is to agree to what he refused to agree before. No, there are all kinds of dimensions to it, but be that as it may, for me, I am not too excited. Too excited in the sense that a man in power being controlled by an outside force is not too good for leadership. And Wike himself, when he was a governor, made that statement bluntly, that can you control a man in power? That the day I leave this place, you expect me to control somebody? Unfortunately, he could not stand by his words. He is controlling the man from outside power. And so it's a mixed grill, so to say. It's a mixed grill. My take is that they have also heard that they have given him condition that he will not run for second term. So these are all the conditions. So it means his hands are tight. He will just go in there and have to cotton answer to whatever his godfather in Abuja says, and whatever the House of Assembly that already waiting on Wednesday to impeach him would demand him to do. He has no option than to do. So it's more or less like an errand boy going back to Rivers State Government House. That's my take about the issue.
Before this latest development that we've seen, we've heard Governor Fubara, say in one of the fora, public function he attended, that is not eager to return to government house, and was even asking the question that why are people concerned about him, that do they even know if he's interested in going back to government house in Port Harcourt. So if you are assuming that these stringent conditions may be there, what stopped him from walking away? Or he feels, there is need for him to go back there, and he may have a plan B that even Wike may not be aware of. That is why he may have kowtowed to some of these stringent conditions that you are touting.
Well, you see, in politics, like I always say, 2 hours is too far. Surprises are always what makes politics, especially Nigeria politics. Number 2 is that when they are telling you yes, it means no. When they are telling you no, it means yes. You cannot predict the mind of a politician because they are always very calculative. So it could have been a mind game that he may have been playing. Because if he actually did not want to go back, he will not go to Abuja, he will not go to UK, he will not go and visit the president, visit Asorok over and over. It means he has something that he wants to get for him to be able to go cap in hand. Because each time he goes there, the video presentation or the picture presentation does not show all those his noisemakers who were suddenly behind him. They are not there. He's always going alone. But if you look at the Wike side of video, we see Wike men. They are always there. So it shows that he is the one that is eager to wanting to go back to government house for reasons best known to him, so to say. I get that point. But I know that having licked the soup and tasted the soup, you want to at least finish the soup, which is the remaining days of his remaining days of his many days in office. Rather, he would prefer to go back and finish his tenure, even if it's 2 years that is remaining. He goes in there and do the 2 years and go away. It will still be on record that he was once a Rivers State governor, unlike the one that he was removed via the how do you call it? How did the Tinubu call it? Suspension. It will not be good that he left government via suspension. Let it be that he was able to serve his term to the end and then hand over to somebody in 29th of May 2027. That will be more honorable to him, so to say. And also, there are other small perks that can still come through him to his own loyalists, few loyalists, or that are there. So whatever be the case, like I always say, politics is about interest. It could be individual interest, group interest, whatever interest that has played out. That's my take about it.
But like you said, when Fubara went for the last negotiation,
Yes, sir.
some of those who were shouting they were going to die for Fubara, who were always around Fubara, we did not see any of them. It was still the same. Some of the weakest men and Achiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu who were there.
Yeah.
Does that mean these people were allegedly or who came all out shouting that they were in support of Fubara, they were ready to die for him and all of that? They were just playing some political games with Fubara.
Definitely, they were playing to the gallery. It's a game. They were all playing to the gallery. They did not have the wherewithal to be able to stand by him. That's the truth. It's about interest. It's about they were making the noise, thinking he will have the upper hand, being a sitting governor. And if peradventure he has the upper hand, they will also benefit. I say, look, we're the one that are making noise for you on television. They'll bring video recording and show him all those things and say, look, we're the one. And then definitely we'll get some perks coming out from it. But in this case, it was unfortunate that it did not happen that way. Being that Wike is not only his godfather, Wike is a minister of the Federal Capital Territory and a strong man in Tinubu's government, whom Tinubu has publicly spoken about eloquently and has always shown that I'm solidly behind whatever Wike is doing. So a combination of the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and his godfather playing out is just alone, because like Wike said, I single-handedly made him a governor of Rivers State. So Fubara should be able to understand what it means to single-handedly make you a governor. He understands how he emerged against all odds.
So, is it a situation of somebody allowing some other people to use his head or to break a coconut, and at the end of the day he is almost unable to eat off the coconut because possibly Fubara did not understand the game those people were playing and maybe allowed them to use him? Then secondly, just added to it, there are those who came out strongly to say what Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu did by suspending Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State is illegal, unconstitutional, not known to the law. But these individuals, none of them went to court to challenge the constitutionality, the legality of the action of Tinubu, which has now become a precedent. Are you concerned about that? Because it's not going to be just about Rivers State this time around when we look at that subject. It's going to be about our democracy and the precedents that we are setting.
Yes, I will start from the part of them going to court. I think it was Delta State and other PDP states that went to court. Sadly, the Delta State that was at the forefront, they come to APC, and the Akwa Ibom State governor, who also was part of that case, they come. So the case become dead on arrival. I don't think they are pursuing it again. That's very sad about democracy, that people could not stick out their neck and fight for a cause they were, so to say, convinced that it was illegal. But as it were now, because they could not follow through with the court case and there was no judicial pronouncement with regards to that issue, invariably it means that it has come to stay that Fubara's suspension is not illegal because no court has declared it illegal. It stands as it were, and therefore in such situation it means if it happens to another governor, nobody will wake up tomorrow to challenge because a negative precedent have been so to say set. And about the people who were making the noise that they were behind him, they were only playing to the gallery in the sense that they felt he gave them the impression that is equal to the task. The day he came out openly over, I think, that October incident, when he came out openly and challenged the status quo, people felt he was good enough to be given the backup. But when they probably discovered that he's not as strong as he was trying to portray himself, so probably, you know, even in the game of fight or in the game of football, when you go to the stadium to watch your team, and after initially when you go there you making noise, and so by the time they score your team 3, 4, 5 goals, even in Premiership you start seeing the guys leaving the stadium. So it's normal. So what happened was that when they scored, he was getting so many own goals here and there, and discovered that they cannot continue to watch a losing side. They move on. Probably some of them now will be coming back to lash him. You know what happened to Jonathan? As soon as Jonathan lost the election, the same people who were praising Jonathan, who were going to die for Jonathan, were the one that was coming out in the media to lash Jonathan. It's on the record. So it's normal like that in politics.
Is this an act of Fubara eating the humble pie?
Definitely, he has eaten the humble pie. Absolutely, he has eaten the humble pie. I see him going back just as an errand boy. That's what's going to happen. It's not as a governor, just as
that statement, going back as the errand boy, is going to inform my next question. Yes, but let me allow those listening to us to now be part of the conversation. If you're listening to us, the number to join in the conversation is 09128784237. I'll take it slowly again so you can get it. 09128784237. Alternatively, you can go straight to our Facebook page where we're streaming the video live for you. You can also share your thoughts and opinion with us there, and we'll do well to take them in course of the conversation. So if you say that Fubara has eaten the humble pie and is going back as an errand boy, the question is, where will the people of Rivers State and good governance be situated in all of these agreements between suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Minister of the FCT, Wike?
Please, before I answer your question, let me quickly say something here. I am not in support of whatever Wike is doing. I am not. I have said that time and again, that when you are in power and when you leave power, you allow the person that succeeds you to do whatever he wants to do. But be that as it may, I have to make that point. I get my point. I just have to make the point that Fubara, on his own part, has not been able to.
I think we have a caller there. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Please, your name and where are you calling from? Hello, good evening. I can hear you. Yeah, good evening. I can hear you clearly.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Please, your name and where you calling from?
My name is David. I'm calling you from Nigeria.
Okay, quickly if you can.
In fact, I pity for people of River State and Fubara. Now, you can't condition what they give them. I don't just understand. Because Fubara himself, as soon as I be Fubara, is for me to join resign for office. I don't feel like for you because may I believe the can't condition what that man go just go sit down for office as a figurehead. Now control the control the man. Because you go and write it down now. The local government election, what they will do now, the APC will win all the local government. Meaning say nothing for the man, he go just stand there as a figurehead and he cannot offer a River State something. At the end of the day, but I never believe all this where they are doing. Fubara should come out and tell us the condition where they give to him before he can be able to accept to go back to office. He should come out and tell the whole river state the kind condition where they give us. So the kind condition where they give to him, if the whole river state they are not pleased with it, they should protest. Fubara should not go back. May we go resign, go back to his house. May Wike come back as a third time. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Remember, the phone line is still open. 09128784237. 09128784237. That is the number you can call to join in the conversation. Reverend, I'll allow you to continue.
Yes, we were talking about the place of River State people. In the first instance, they were not considering River State people in the arrangement. They weren't, because if they were considering River State people in the arrangement, what is the simplest definition of the democracy? It's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. In all the arrangement, how did Fubara emerge? Was it by the people through the PDP?
Reverend, sorry. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, this is Innocent calling from PCI.
Okay.
I think what Fubara is doing is the right thing, because he has to play the humble part and finish his tenure first before taking. But last, all I know that Fubara will still become to the APC. That is what I know. So we should just allow him to do what is in his mind. He's playing the right game. It's the politics, like he said earlier. This is the politics. Anything can happen. So the fact is that Fubara has to bring himself down and accept the condition. No matter what it is, there must be a condition, because the way it is now, even though he fights from nothing tomorrow, it as an emergency state, so there's somebody there already ruling. So Fubara has to bring himself down and achieve what he wants to achieve first before he can start saying any other thing. That is my take now.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Like I said, the phone line is still open. We see how we can do as many calls as possible. The moment you call, tell us your name, where you're calling from, and just go straight to the point.
And as I was saying, so if River people were mattered, Wike would not say openly, I single-handedly. So when you use the word I single-handedly, there was no River State people interest. The sharing of the resources did not factor in the River State people. It's about the gladiators, the godfathers, the power brokers. I get the point. So they don't care about River State people. Do the opposition care about Nigerians? They don't care about Nigerians. It's about them. How much of people Nigerian participation do you have in democracy in Nigeria? Is it through voting? Is it through consultation? Nothing. All they do is to commission one project here and there and make so much noise about it. There's no people involvement. Nigerians are not really participating in democracy. Only participation we do is a few of us who come to media to make noise and they complain or protest here and there. There's no real strategic, organized participation of Nigerians in democracy from the point of the primaries of the party. The godfathers determine. When you go to general election, the election will be so organized in such a way that people are discouraged and disenchanted to be part of it. And even when the results come out, they sit down and get a skewed result. So there's less of people participation. They don't care about the people. They know how to play the game. All what is happening now is about 2027.
So, are you trying to say the fight that Governor Siminalayi Fubara has been fighting right from day one is not necessarily about the people, it's about political powers and resource control in Rivers State?
Yeah, it was a political survivor. First of all.
Yes, hello. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Mr. Ring McKinney. I'm calling from Onya.
Okay, quickly if you can, sir.
You see what happened to Fubara, they listen to outside people. If not, we would have got to this extent. I wonder why people will say, if Rivers State people protest or do one thing or the other. The right course, 9 Fubara follow. When they wait for that meeting, suppose it's still to read. People have not got to this extent. The people listen to people outside people. Because the people that they listen to, when they put emergency rule there, how many of the people come and say, this thing cannot hold, this thing cannot hold. And I blame him as well. Property, as a governor, you have to protect the property and the lives of the people. When you heard that they want to impeach you, just information, you went ahead to go and demolish the House of Assembly complex. It's not good for a person like him. All this while when Wike, they go about doing what have you heard of him destroying the government property? Because he needs replication. So Fubara, you have to play the game. They give you 1 year, you play it and leave the office. That's my take.
Okay, thank you very much. Reverend,
Yeah.
This aspect of the conversation for me, it's very important because you were trying to look into the definition of democracy.
Yes.
Is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And what I usually say is that democracy has to be people-centric.
Yeah.
And if you must occupy a political office or public office in a democratic space, it should be that you are doing it because you want to serve the interest of the people.
Yeah.
And what you expect is hello. Yes, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, please. Your name and where are you calling from?
This is James from Alaja.
Okay, quickly if you can, James.
My take is this because Fubara himself, he knows the rules, he knows the agreement. He must have taken some agreement with his boss before going there. Then when he has succeeded in that position, then he has to arrogate all the power to himself, feeling that the master cannot do him anything again. Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. I can hear you clearly.
Yes. So he's the person who shot his own leg. If he know that this thing he will not be able to follow it up, there's no need for him signing undertaking with his boss that this is how we will share the things there. Then he allowed himself to be used by people of River State to work against his own boss, which now pay him in return. For instance, did Wike, while he was the governor of River State, at least people knows how he succeeded in developing things, erecting structures, roads and flyover. People were praising him. Then his owner just go there, not even more than 6 months or a year or something. He continued destroying the House of Assembly, showing his arrogancy. All those things, actually, they are not good.
Okay, thank you very much because of time, and so we can begin to...
So that is the truth.
Okay, now, like I said, thank you.
We will bomb this, we will bomb that, we will bomb this, bomb that. On whose person head?
Okay, I think the point has been made. But quickly, Reverend, when you look at the people in the whole equation, if you have the interest of the people at heart, and the reason you want to occupy the office is for the good of the people, and you are given a condition, nobody has seen the condition yet, and none of us sitting here now is sure that condition is ever going to be made public by either of the parties. If it is true that these conditions won't allow Fubara to serve the interest of the people of Rivers State, do you think it makes sense for him to agree to come back to office if his interest is actually the interest of Rivers people? Or you think he has his own political interest he's also pursuing?
Oh, certainly he has his own political, from the outset he has his own political interest, because if he had no political interest he would have allowed himself to go through the crucibles of the party primaries without unnecessary undue influence that made Wike to boldly say, I single-handedly produced him as a governor. He knew the rigging and everything that took place within the Rivers State setting for him to have emerged as a governor. So definitely it's not about the people. What he did was more of a political survivor when he wanted to assert himself, which is normal. I don't see any. If the game had gone in favor of Fubara, I'll be celebrating him now. That is the truth. Because it's about independence. When you get into office as a governor, they should allow you to work as a governor. Undue influence by political godfathers is unwelcome. I do not support it. I don't subscribe to it. He would have allowed him. Let him come.
It is often said that he who pays the piper dictates the tune, and possibly that is why, in the way democracy is structured inherently, is to the extent that the people should be the ones who dictate the tone for those in office. So when you now have a situation where it is somebody who is bringing occupiers of political office into office, not the masses, are we not going to have this situation we're having today?
Definitely, that's why we are. That's why we are where we are today. Apology to Professor Shibanjo. That's where we are today. That is the truth. When the godfathers begin to bring you into office, you will go to whatever they want you to do. But if the people that are the one that brought you to power, you will always align yourself with the people. And if you align yourself with the people will suddenly, Nigerians I know, will stand behind you. When the masses, when they go, those people know that the masses are behind you, they are always very careful. But when they know that they know in and out, they know your weakness, that one are my boy. Sometimes if the way they see them talk about some of these people, some of these governors, just like Tinubu went to Abeokuta and called the whole governor Eleyi. Look at that was the height of derogatory use of words for a sitting governor. In front of the people, he has finished that man. He has said, "Who is this one? I brought you to office as a governor." That's not that order to be, but that is the situation as it were in Nigerian politics today. People bring this one to office, bring this one to office. The passes factor are not there, and they have deliberately ensured that they emasculate the masses from getting involved in electing, because they know the implication that if you allow the masses decide who comes into power, they will lose, so to say, their influence. They will lose their grip.
As we begin to wrap up on this particular discussion, I'm sorry, but finally on this particular issue, how can the Nigerian masses fight and wrestle power? Because it appears the way it is now, if you look at our constitution, it is clear that sovereignty belongs to the people, from where government derives all its powers. It simply means the power actually is in the hands of the people, and the people should know how to use it. How can the people, the masses, now collect power back from the hands of the Nigerian politicians, who appears to have kidnapped powers from the hands of the people, and the people don't have say in some sort again in whatever that is going on?
Number one, it has to do with education. The masses needs to be enlightened to know their power and to demand for their power. Most of the masses are ignorant. They don't know their power, because number one, if you know your power, your councillor will not sleep. That's the truth. You go to your councillor's house and demand for a ward meeting. We want to meet you, want to discuss with you. Your house of assembly member representing your constituency will not sleep. You will demand and say, come, we want to have a town hall meeting with you. And once he comes in, he's at your mercy, because you are the one that demanded for that town hall meeting. You address him. But if you allow him, whenever he comes to the councillor comes and you celebrate him and he throws some cash here and there for you, and what they call subsidy, and the other one, how they call it, how they call the other one,
stomach infrastructure.
Yeah, they will say what they call it, the government call it, I get a point, they call it subsidy, and is it palliative? They throw palliative at you. You are their mercy. And you demand that the person representing your federal constituency at the House of Rep should have a town meeting. Your senator should have a town meeting. That's where you start. These are the people you should hold accountable, not the governor. They are the ones that are representing you. Democracy is democracy today because There are people representing you at the ward level, at the House of Assembly, State House of Assembly, at the Federal House of Rep, and at the House of Senate. Take those people away. Other system of government had other people in place, had local government chairmen, had governors, had president. So it is these people that make.
Okay, let's just do this call. Hello. Yes, good evening. Please, your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I am Father speaking from Warri.
Okay, quickly if you can.
I want to correct one impression.
Okay.
Politics is not a game of the people in Nigeria. It's a game of interest. Even that interest of the betterment of the people, it does not mean all they want to see is their interest. What Fubara is doing now, I never expect this of him. He's not doing well. I mean, can't he fight gallantly? He's oppressed. Yes, it's known that he's oppressed. Can't he stand on that to the end? Going to join? Because of his interest? What does he want there? Is he poor? Is he free? No, it's not expected.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. But Reverend, I'm pressed to ask this question just before we go.
Please.
The people of Rivers State, if you look at what has happened now, it appears what is at stake is the resources of Rivers State.
Yeah.
And this resources is supposed to be for the growth and development of the state, is supposed to be for the good governance of the state, and it appears this is what these political gladiators are fighting for. And if they are able to settle for this sharing formula, the people will suffer it. Allegedly will be the Rivers people. How can the Rivers people now wake up and follow their resources and make sure that their resources, whoever, not minding who is there, is used for the growth and the development and for the benefit of the people of the state?
It's sad that our democracy has taken us nosedive. That's the truth. Everybody is about interest.
Are you saying that the people cannot follow their resources?
They will not be able to galvanize themselves. It's about being able to galvanize. All everybody is looking for now is, which side are you? Is it in Wike side? You get to Wike side. All you are going to get through Wike side, you get something. Through Fubara side, you get something. Everybody will be looking for what they can get. That's just the truth. They cannot galvanize themselves to the point where they will demand for accountability. We don't have that kind of system in Nigeria today, where the demand, Serap has been making noise over and over. Serap, the only people that are making noise asking for accountability. That's the only people that you see. There's no real demand for accountability in our current democracy. That's the truth. Nobody accounts for anything. Whatever happens, it happens. You will see them happen in the media. They report it in the media, and that's why it ends in the media. They tell you this one was stolen, and now after so much noise, it disappears. So there's no galvanized effort, no organized effort to demand for accountability, either at the federal level, whether at the state level, whether at the local level. We don't have it. Okay. And nobody is willing to submit himself, whether as the local government chairman, whether as the ward councillor, whether as also as a member, federal house, senate, president, governor, willing to submit himself and say, I will submit myself to accountability. It's not in this democracy.
Okay, that is a good place for us to end.
Never need to see that one happen, probably in our lifetime.
Okay, that's a good place to end it in this conversation. But let's see if we can, in the next 3 minutes, take a look at what is going on within the fold of the APC. But don't worry, if you just join us, you've missed nothing. You can always go to Facebook page where you see the entire video and you can talk to us and let's get the conversation going. But we are pressed for time, so quickly let's look at what is going on within the fold of the APC. What has happened that has forced the national chairman of the APC, Ganduje, to resign office as a national chairman? What the national chairman, who is resigned now, Ganduje, appeared to have said is that he's resigning for health reasons and he needs to take care of his health, prioritizing his health over political offices. But what people are saying is different from what the national chairman is saying. The information in the public space is that Ganduje was eased out of office for some political consideration. Reverend, what do you think is playing out in APC at this point in time? What has actually forced Ganduje to leave, to have resigned from his office?
I think I want to open by saying that any journalist that is covering political story should be ready to change his story every moment, because while you are still trying to build a story, another story is coming up that connects with that story. That's how dramatic our political system has become. This is a Ganduje that was in Akwa Ibom last weekend to welcome the governor of Akwa Ibom. There was no inkling, there was nothing showing that his health. I mean, somebody is having health issues. There will be somehow some preamble, no preamble, all of a sudden he was resigning. It means, number one, in my observation, he is following the negative pattern of all APC chairmen, starting from the days of the man in the former Edo State governor, Odige Oyegun. He left unceremoniously. Adam Oshomole took over unceremoniously. Governor Boni, Mai Malabuni came into, who was almost became like a life chairman.
He was more like a caretaker committee chairman.
But we became so powerful, he had to leave too unceremoniously. The Senator Adamu, former governor of Nasarawa, came in. He left unceremoniously, and now we have Ganduje leaving unceremoniously. So that means it had been established that there is a negative pattern of leaving office as a national chairman of APC unceremoniously. Meaning whoever is going to succeed Ganduje should also be prepared to leave unceremoniously. There's a lot of political game going out there. Some have said this is health challenge. Some have said this is a arrangement for the North Central, who have been agitating that office is supposed to come to them to balance the equation. They also believe that Ganduje ought not to be there because the deputy senate president is from the northwest. So if the equation should be balanced, then they should be occupying that position. There's also people are arguing that they want to shift the vice presidential candidate or the party to northwest. So that's why they are easing out Ganduje to be able to balance the equation. So a lot of games are playing out. But in the days to come, we shall begin to see again upon what is going to what is playing out. But it's all about 2027. That's the truth. And he has become one of the latest victims of the game of 2027. That's the more victims are going to come out very soon. As the days unfold. That's my take.
Okay, as is to bring the conversation to the table, like I said, we keep our eyes on this. It's a developing story playing out in the fold of the APC, but it appears that the politics of 2027, as far as the presidency is concerned, has started, and the dynamics are beginning to unfold within the fold of the APC. You remember, just before this is the information that came out via grapevine that the current Vice President Kashim Shettima will now be the running mate of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027, and that they are going to look for a way to get another vice presidential candidate. That has been pushed aside like it's not really significant, but this particular one appears to be correlating with that. And also there's the belief that Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu is trying to get his friend Kwankwaso to the fold of the APC so he can have a huge chunk of the vote of the APC, of the vote of Kano State in 2027, because for now it appears Kwankwaso is a strong man of Kano politics, and of course, you know, the current governor of Kano State is Kwankwaso's allies. But I don't know all of that. These are the information that I hear. My own is to bring them to you to know that these are the things we have in the public space. But we'll continue to keep our eyes on these developments and make sure we keep you updated. But thanks for being part of the show today.
On the last note, please, I want to say that the deputy senate president said, whatever President Bola Ahmed Tinubu tells me to do, come 2027, I will do. That is very pregnant, and it's from the northwest.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot for being part of the show today. Quite a lot of you called. We were able to do your call, but some of you were unable to do your call because we are pressed for time. But don't worry, if you just join us, like I always tell you, you did not miss anything. You can catch the entire show again on our Facebook page. So let's keep the conversation going there, even though it may have ended on air. Until I come your way again next week, I am Laju Awalatain. Bye for now.
We can't remain in one spot. That is why we rise, and you too can rise with us.
Till I reach the top, keep on rising.
By listening to Rise 106.7 FM.
I'm about to be open.
Where the fly?